All right now. That's cool.
Well, I don't know. Well,
I started working on this
Every week.
oh, did you?
anyways, but I
Oh,
don't
cool.
have it ready. So.
Oh, all right. Well, we
never
can mention
ended.
it though, right?
Yeah.
So, what time did you want to start? 6 or 6:30 or what?
How long are we?
6 to 8, I think we've
6 to
got.
8?
Yeah.
Probably
So why is this
6:30.
not working?
Give people time to
Okay.
grab something to eat and get there from work, right?
Where are we sitting? Oh, you have to sit with your
So
group.
you just sit in your spot and then I'll see where
Sit
I'm.
right here. I'll sit right here. I'm good.
Where's your sweetheart?
Oh, she's in there trying to figure out how to edit the phone and she won't. Let her do it on her.
My wife's the same. She hates technology, but she doesn't want me to
Yep, that's right.
try to sort it out for her.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah, you just gotta learn to deal with that one.
Oh, we still have 15 minutes. Is it really 15 minutes?
Playing checkers?
Yeah, basically. There we go.
It's close to Burgundy. It's close to Burgundy. All right. Yeah. A version of it.
Fuck.
Let it go.
At this point, we've tried everything we know how to do, and they ain't gonna do it. Alright, so you and your group are gonna go first.
Well, the way we do it, that I would come out first. Say, if you call, Nicole three, and then my group.
Will you switch that? The reason I'm
If it's
asking.
okay with Nicole, it's okay with me.
Just drop her here.
Yeah.
The reason for that is that I've got a garb I'm gonna get on, you know,
Yeah.
and, you know.
We all do too. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not that yours may be more garb than ours.
It's gonna take me about 3 minutes.
Okay. As long as it's okay with me.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm late up there, then. So be it.
I'm sure Nicole's flexible.
Hey, Lance, yeah, if you would go ahead and check and make sure you can hear yourself well, I'm gonna do a backup mic up there. Shape shine. How you feeling today?
We have technical problems.
Yeah, you should be live and ready to go. Just need to make sure that you say.
My signal. My signal. What do you think? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Oh, cool.
Can you hear yourself well?
Yeah.
Okay, if you need a little bit more, I can help you out. Okay. Well, if you need any more, just look at me and go, or if you feel like it's too much.
I'm barely singing right now, and I can hear myself. So.
Okay.
Thank you.
you wouldn't believe this. Yes, yeah, so that was the problem.
Where are you going? Well, I don't quite know yet.
Oh, nice, okay.
Did, so I might be able to do what
We have to share you, don't we?
we're gonna be going up there, right?
I think so.
Yeah, maybe this way.
Check, check, 1, 2, check, check.
I think they're meant to put
Oh, on packages, okay.
on paper, stick them to paper.
Oh, we gotta work on it.
Warm up color and myself.
They're made by Avery, Some clothing has the fuzz in it like that sweater. Those are, they probably stick it too hard.
I wonder if that's Tennessee or around here. All of those are around here. That's nice. Oh, look who's here. Tom's here. Thomas, he bought all of those kids.
Good morning. Well, Judy and I were just
Check, 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 1, 2, check. Patriot, you guys are gonna be speaking, right? You guys are gonna be speaking?
Yes.
Do you wanna come up here and let's make sure we get the mic set where you need it to be?
Yeah, it'll make me feel like that.
How about that?
And all of us will have a little bit something. So there's different heights.
Well, if I need another, I've got an additional mic set up here, so if you guys need to speak at the same time. No, okay.
We try to make it as simple as possible.
Yes, I understand. We'll check that and see if you can hear yourself, because the speakers are out there, if you can turn it up a little bit.
Microphone check. Microphone check.
Okay. Yeah, just get a little closer to the mic.
And I'll do this, I'll
Exactly, because if you get that far away, then it, yeah, it's basically not. Okay. All right, thank you. Let me know if you need anything else on that.
Okay.
And how you been? Good to see you. Go. All right. We still got forever. I'm 5 minutes from the house.
That's sweet.
I mean, it's weird.
Okay.
And actually, the dog his dog basically.
Yeah.
And, it's 6 minutes from his house to the street.
Yeah,
Straight down South Seminole, take a turn, so
So just because the other way, how long was that? Okay.
Oh, come straight on out and go over.
So what you buy?
And then come on
I
over.
bought a 14-year-old
Just turn from here. I need the timing,
Yeah.
but I gotta go the other direction.
Yeah, that's sweet, you found that shortcut, so. Let's see.
Well, I wish
Well,
you
we
had.
live in Harris, so I've gotta go down 58, then Jersey Pike, and then go over to Shallowford.
Yeah.
200,000
So,
miles.
not too bad, it's about a 35-minute drive.
Yeah,
Same as what you said.
You know what Cape Breton is?
It's brand new.
Our son has one, it's got 300,000, so.
I believe it.
You know,
I believe it, but I bet he's
You don't get
driven,
everything. I
um,
mean, I could have the same conversation every week.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you can see it works like that.
good.
Right.
How about yours?
Yeah, because that she would really like to do.
How was the drive here?
Or
What are you gonna do about
Yeah,
that?
she can, but
It's
she's,
just nothing to look forward to on Saturday, is it?
yeah,
Yeah, there's no way without interstate going down.
Oh,
No way,
that's no good. On a Saturday?
on Saturday.
we can
I don't know.
avoid 36 miles.
Yeah,
Really don't.
yeah.
I'm sure.
Once you get to the way,
yeah.
it's, and the traffic. Traffic is 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know,
I think you're supposed to do this.
Okay, well, we need to pray on this, that's
we
true.
need to pray on it.
The other stuff, yeah, it's still.
Very large challenge.
Right.
Yeah, no matter
I'm
what,
willing
yeah.
to support,
And someone else dragging their feet, then it reflects on you.
Thankfully, they
but I'm not so sure
Okay.
I want to support
Yeah.
physically.
Yeah.
Look at David.
Think about it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, man.
Pray.
Pray. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe by January we have some kind of a solution. But there's another place that they're working on, and it doesn't fall into place.
Okay.
No,
Really?
It'll feel like a fair.
A Grammy Award-winning artist is going to perform there, and then they're having the rodeo.
Who's the artist?
From Lauren.
Lorna Lena.
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah, she's been on all kinds of shows and
I was
everything.
in
She's going to perform out there.
years ago now, the cheat sheet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's performing.
Yeah, well, see, I need to. Well, I don't have time today. That's today.
Yeah.
I can't go today. I'm working in Rising Phone today.
Oh.
Rising Phone today. Okay.
Oh, you gonna be singing over there?
Oh, we got a wedding reception in this band I'm in.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
I always wanted to be a performer. You paid for it. It's never in my stars. I guess no. Yeah, I tried. Well, I dream about it a lot. Oh. Oh yeah. Yeah, I sing and stuff. Yeah, all kinds of music. George Strait. Andy Williams. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Give me a little time.
River wider than the
Okay, all right.
Good hat.
There was somebody.
I wear.
Are you Navy?
What's that?
You Navy?
Oh, no. I wanted to get in the service, but I had my dad was, no, he was in the Army.
Well, in our era, when I go into Vietnam, they say
Oh, well,
It's
he
in
came
video.
back crippled and didn't come back at all, so.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman.
And she is, you don't even have to wear a costume, you know that.
Hey, Ron.
Hey, good seeing you, dear.
You're St.
David,
David, David.
And my
I'm
favorite.
so happy to see you. Don't let me disconnect you. Hey. I'm dressed like this just for you.
is that right? Downtown?
No, this is social research at the old McDonald Farm. It's only $5 for seniors.
Where's that located?
I've got the exact address, about 30 miles away, not too bad.
30 miles.
I don't know, I've never been there. I probably my GPS is there telling me. But it's 16705 Culver Mill Road,
In Chattanooga.
Sales Creek, St. Albert County, County Fair. Yeah, I've never been to it.
Yeah, I think that'll be fun. It's a nice thing. It's a nice thing.
Supposed to get there 60. Oil change great. So I
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Hey.
Good morning.
I am alive in the Spirit of God. 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 I am alive in the Spirit of God.
a candle whose flame symbolizes that light that is within each and every one of us. God's presence, God's guidance, and simply the beauty and the love, the harmony and the healing that's available to us all. And so this morning, in the midst of technical problems, road problems, as Ed Sullivan used to say, we have a wonderful show this evening. So just join with me and help me take that deep breath and just simply calm down. And once again, know that the Spirit of God is here. And if we can become centered in that, then nothing can disturb our peace of mind. And no matter what the outer world looks like, all is truly well. So it is. Amen.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's presence.
I'm going to do some prayers for people first.
Yes, the holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
And so no matter what anxious moments each one of us are having this morning, including me, those things pale in comparison to some of the things that our members are going through. And so this morning, let's join together in prayers for Gino as he works through some physical difficulties. So let's just take a moment now and be still. We know Gino's face. We see that smile. And we simply surround him with our loving energy, with our highest thoughts of healing and grace. Knowing that on every level of his being, on the level of his soul, he is whole and healthy, vibrant, and experiencing a challenge in his life that we simply hold him in our highest thoughts right now. And so for Gino, you are whole, you are healthy, you are healed, you are in God's hands, and all is well. And also this morning for Laura Milla's mother, Brenda, who is also experiencing some physical difficulties. And if you haven't met Brenda, nevertheless, bring up a picture of her in your mind and surround that picture with, once again, your love, your highest thoughts of vibrant energy, God's energy, flowing through her. And so now as we hold Brenda and Laura in our thoughts, we know that God is with them. And once again, all is well. Thank you, God.
this morning?
I am.
Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Good morning. I'm just
Welcome
over
to
here
service
just
this morning, Eric.
twiddling my thumbs, you know.
We're so glad to have all of you with us today.
It's been a challenging morning,
It's been a fun morning.
trust me.
Hopefully I don't chop my head off. I did.
You're good.
Oh, good. Nice. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday service on Saturday, right? My name is Eric Miller. I serve on your board of trustees as your treasurer. We know that there's probably 100 other places that you could be on a cloudy but cool fall Saturday morning. So I want to personally thank all of you for choosing to be here with us today. And to all of you watching online, and we do have a few people watching from the comfort of their homes on Facebook, we welcome you as well. And please know that sometimes we have had some difficulties broadcasting. No, okay, now who wrote this? We had some difficulties broadcasting what? The service because of. All right, disregard that. There's no problem. We're broadcasting great. The signal is strong. If there are problems on Facebook, just please know that you can view it later on YouTube. We do always upload it later on YouTube. So, I mean, that's just hypothetical. So let us know that you're here if you are online by sharing a few words in the comment section. And don't forget to give us, even if you're not a hippie, a little thumbs up here and now. Make us all feel good. So this is the time in the service where we have the opportunity to acknowledge anyone who is here for the first time. If you are new today, we want you to know that you are welcome, accepted, and celebrated. So please raise your hand so that our usher can bring you a fantastic gift packet that tells you a little bit about unity in our history. We have somebody new over here too, Terry. There's also a connection card that we would love for you to fill out in the front part of the sanctuary and turn into an usher so that we can stay in touch with you. Our wonderful Penny Werth does an amazing job on a newsletter every 2 weeks. It's always packed with lots of interesting information. We have a metaphysics discussion group coming up. We have a Qigong class coming up. We have what else we have going on? I mean, we have a lot of things coming up. So for our new people, she's getting, yay, she's getting her packet. We have a special unity blessing that we'd like to share with you. So will the congregation please join me in saying, warm up our energy. We bless you, we love you, we bless you.
We appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you.
Okay, so Unity of Chattanooga is an inclusive church where we seek to understand and live by the practical teachings of Jesus Christ and other ancient and modern day spiritual masters that support personal spiritual transformation and, even more importantly, bring forth abundant living in every area of our lives. Abundance and prosperity isn't just about money. It's about love, it's about relationships, it's about community. That's abundance, that's prosperity. And so when we take the time to be grateful, even if we're in a struggle, we can invite the universe to give us more of that abundance and more of that prosperity and more of that health for people that are struggling with their health. We welcome all people from all spiritual paths as we celebrate the diversity of our community and our world. We teach love, tolerance, and oneness. We believe that there is only one presence and power active in our lives. The foundation of unity is affirmative prayer and the power of positive thinking. In our unity of purpose, we are guided by infinite wisdom and renewed by divine love. And if I could just take a moment in the idea of the affirmative prayer and positive thinking is so important and crucial to unity. And as some of you know, my wife Laura and I moved here from Las Vegas last year. And before we did, I kind of manifested my forerunner out there. It came to be a month before the movers were coming to pack us up. And it came, and then all of a sudden we had 3 cars and only 2 drivers, because Reno's a terrible driver, despite what he tells you. And so I had to hurry up and sell my Camry. And I love my Camry, it's baby blue, gorgeous Camry. And it had this bumper sticker on the back that I had gotten from Unity Village outside Kansas City. And it said, "Thoughts lead to words, words lead to actions, and actions lead to destiny." And I didn't want to sell my car because of that bumper sticker. I love that bumper sticker so much. But the woman I sold it to, she loved it too, so it's got a good home. But that, I think it's so important that we remember that sometimes, because the power of our thoughts does dictate the direction of our lives in a lot of ways. So when we're mindful of our thoughts, it's just easier to find center. It's easier to find peace. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. If anybody ever sees a baby blue Camry with a spoiler on the back, sporting California tags now, and it's got that bumper sticker, wave to them. So I want to mention that today is Veterans Day, as a lot of you know, an annual day of remembrance, honoring all those who have served in the military, as well as honoring the veterans of all wars, both past and present. It is a tradition that began after the end of World War I, so it is with deep gratitude that we say thank you to all that have served to protect our country. Those who live in freedom will always be grateful to those who helped preserve it. Now, we are also grateful for this time together, as I said in the beginning. Now, see, I'm wrapping this up. There is a meandering path, but there's a beginning and an end. We're always grateful for this time together in this space of love and tranquility and community. So if you're comfortable with it, now is the time in our service to share those innate qualities, the friendship and community, with all our friends here this morning. So please stand up and greet each other with a handshake, a fist bump, or a hug, whatever you're grateful for.
Oh, it's
Nice to see you. Thanks. Oh, well, it's bad living, Sorry? I wish. No, I gotta go to the hospital and visit my mother-in-law. So what are we saying, 6:30?
Well, yeah, I don't know. It's up to you. It's got to answer to you.
6:30. I think Amanda's starting hers at 6 next Tuesday, but it doesn't matter. If you put it on the flyer, but I'll just announce it. That's Qigong, right? Qigong. Qigong. Yeah, I know. Qigong. Yeah.
That's wickedly funny. I said we should have honored the veterans by having them stand up, and she goes, they can't.
She went down to Dalton and did the capsule scan yesterday, and they found that the heart looks pretty good. It's inoperable. So, chose to go down there and leave it.
How's mom's cognizance?
It's coming back slow, better, but it's, she's depressed.
Probably doesn't feel very good. You know, Mona, I have bought a beanie for Gino, and it has that tree of life that's on that thing over there on it. It's gonna, he'd like it. Actually, I bought some stuff to sell when we do another thing, just off Temu.
Yeah.
Real cheap, and I thought, I'm gonna give that to Gina.
Yeah. Yeah, it's where they project the things in the back.
God in my thoughts, I choose compassion, measuring my words. I choose encouragement, preparing my actions. I choose kindness, I am one with the Spirit. Peace and love, peace and
We're hoping he's gonna be out of the ICU soon.
The only place that sticks.
Oh, how funny.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better, some have gone, and some remain. All these places have the moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living, but in my life, I love you all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. Though I know I'll never lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them, but in my life, I love you more. Though I know I'll never ever lose affection for people and things that went before. I know I'll often stop and think about them, but in my life, I love
perfect song for today.
Amen.
In my life, I love you more. Yeah. It's all about relationships. And that's what we're going to talk about this morning. Just a little bit, if I can raise the stand somehow. Oh well. See, these glasses are bifocals, so I can, it'll work. Well, the holidays are here. It's a special and a wonderful time of the year. It focuses on relationships with family and friends, with gifts and get-togethers. And all in the background of thankfulness for what we have and the promise of God's blessings to come. So this morning is a time to talk about and to celebrate our relationships. Now in unity and in the greater arena of new thought, we talk and focus on our own personal spiritual practice, on our own thoughts and behaviors in the world, but it's all within the context of community, the environment of our relationships with others. Our relationships form the cocoon in which we grow and transform, and how we show up and navigate through the never-ending variety of forces, issues, and opportunities that life presents to us every day, and learn and grow in the process, comes through our relationships with others. Today is also Veterans Day, and I'd like to start by acknowledging the insights for a greater life and greater awareness that our forefathers had, and the courage that they exhibited and brought forth in the face of tyranny and oppression, time and time and time again. And how those insights and the courage that they had attracted and galvanized relationships that created a whole new world and a whole new way of life. The people who first came to this country were seeking personal freedom and greater opportunity and faced great hardships to achieve it. And not everyone was a patriot in the Revolutionary War. Only about a third of the population felt the call and stepped forward for the ideas of independence, freedom, and a new opportunity and way of life. But it was their voice and their relationships with one another that persevered and secured those freedoms. And less than 100 years later, the country was equally split over the founding principle that all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights of liberty and the pursuit of happiness. Once again, a higher thought, some would call it providence, worked through relationships and those who believed and those who stepped forward with great price. But it's not always about wars and militaries. Women's suffrage began in this country and is now accepted throughout the free and democratic countries of the world. 2 world wars once again tested the mettle of our beliefs. And although reluctant at first, those who came before us stepped up to defend not only our own freedom, but helped to bring it to others as well. Korea, the civil rights movement, Vietnam, Afghanistan. Once again, there were those who believed in a better way of life and fought to bring it to others. There have been veterans in every movement, some in the military, some not, who have believed in freedom and equal opportunity and have stepped up to create a better life. Veterans, every single one of them. Big shoulders that we stand on today. I'd like to read today's daily word. I give thanks for those who serve. There are many who place others' needs ahead of their own, who sacrifice their time, even their lives, in service to others. I honor these individuals, those who are still with us, as well as those who have passed on. No matter the form their service takes, I am grateful for their willingness to give the best of themselves. I'm mindful that their efforts have helped afford me freedom and privileges that I enjoy today. I bless those who serve when I pray for their safety and protection. I see them as divinely guided, endowed with the strength, wisdom, and power of the divine. I pray that I will be inspired by the example as I am called to make the world a better place. However, as we are all aware, there are still dark forces of dictatorship and oppression in the world. And I want to say this morning, thank you to all those in our military and in our civil services, our churches, and those grassroots movements who are on the front lines of defending our beliefs and helping to create freedom and a greater life opportunity for others. If you have served in the military, or if you have a son or daughter or grandson or granddaughter in the military, please stand up so that we can acknowledge you, all of those. Terry in the back. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Throughout history, there have been a higher calling that only a few have heard. And it's been through relationships and community that their voice became an idea whose time has come. It's not just the military. Civil rights movements, the Peace Corps, women's suffrage, environmental concerns, and also our military. Shift gear for just a moment. In my business career, most of you know I worked in manufacturing plants of large corporations. And in my last 20 years, I would go to the plants that were in trouble for one reason or another. And as the general manager there, I was tasked with either turning it around or shutting it down. And in every case, it wasn't about the technology. It wasn't about the equipment. It wasn't about the physical aspects of the operation. It was always about the people. It was about relationships. It was about listening to the issues, creating a vision of a greater possibility, a greater reality, and then inviting people to step up to that. It wasn't about blame. It wasn't about who did it wrong. It was about how do we go forward as a team with a shared vision. And what always amazed me was that there was never one person who consistently had the best ideas. Certainly not me, okay? In fact, the best ideas usually came through somebody that you didn't expect. It was often the rank and file. We often preached that there was no pride of authorship. This is a team. If it's a good idea, then let's do it, no matter where it came from. And once we got people working together, the foxhole mentality disappeared. The crabbing and complaining disappeared. And whole plants went from the abyss of their last chance to a model that could be a model of what could be accomplished. Time and time again, others in the corporation would ask, how did you do that? It was relationships, team building, and the resulting accomplishments of people working together as a team, as a community, and caring for one another. One simple idea, usually the plants that I went into, the former general manager was a pretty critical guy. Who was to blame, fire this guy, that sort of thing. And it was kind of a difficult turnaround. But after 3 or 4 months, I can remember one of the supervisors quit to go off to law school that we had, and we had a young trainee as part of our group, and his name was Scott. And I said, okay, Scott, you're going over into this department. And in our production meeting that morning, Scott looked at all of us and said, I don't know what I'm doing. Can you imagine the confidence he must have had to share that vulnerability? That confidence comes from relationships. And I looked at Scott, and I didn't really know what to say, but I said, Scott, you know, there's a number of people here who have run that department before, other supervisors, and I'm sure they'll lend a hand. You know, just simply ask. And I have confidence in you, and I'm sure you're a smart guy. I'm sure you'll pick it up and do quite well. Well, you can see Scott was a little bit nervous about it, and he left. And I didn't say anything more. But every supervisor in that plant, and there was about 7 other ones, different departments, who had run that department before, came over either that day or during the week and helped him out. Every single one. That's teamwork. And over the course of the next 2 or 3 weeks, Scott had that department running better than it ever had before. And it was a group effort. With loving and supporting relationships, we prosper and we grow. Throw in a higher shared vision and we achieve greater heights materially, socially, and spiritually than we could ever have imagined. Churches today offer one of the most nurturing environments available for building community and lasting loving relationships. And regardless of the theology, which we all know varies widely, they almost all have outreach programs to help people meet and support one another. There are 12-step groups, service opportunities, counseling services, Bible and book study, bingo, and many other opportunities where people can come together in fellowship. And these programs are almost universally made available at no cost, depending solely on the intentions and the aspirations of those involved. This morning, as a group, we have much to be grateful for. We've partnered with the Unitarian people and now have a wonderful place to meet and have times available during the month where we can meet for classes and other activities. They also have programs and activities similar to what we've done in the past, and this offers us an opportunity to partner with them for even greater results. It's a great relationship. The other thing that I'm thankful for and excited about is that we've just completed our second Spirit Groups program. Now, I've been involved in a group both times, and it's an opportunity to meet during the week, listen to a prepared video from a modern inspirational unity book and author, and discuss among ourselves what it means to us. There are questions that have been prepared for the program, and it's a time to do our own spiritual work in the company of friends. This time, I've been very impressed with how the principles in the book were shared by the speaker and how his week-to-week questions for us created insights and takeaways that have made a real difference in several of the participants' lives. And once again, I've seen the power of relationships and a shared higher vision create personal breakthroughs and accomplishments. And we'll hear some of those stories in just a few minutes. What I have found in my own life, in my own spiritual journey, is that once you feel a pull towards spirit, it's important to pursue that feeling. Going to church on Sunday, or in our case on Saturday, is a great first step. But the real progress is made during the week through personal study and finding a group to regularly meet with. It'll keep you centered in a thought and living process that's so fragile in the world today, and keep you confident and poised in the day-to-day culture with all its pulls and pushes that we live in. It's what the Apostle Paul encouraged his followers to do. Therefore, my beloved, work out your own salvation, for it is God who is at work in you, enabling you both to will and to work for good. That's why when we meet here, we call it a celebration service. Coming together in celebration of the spiritual work that we've accomplished during the week with a little help from our friends. Yeah. So I want to welcome Phaedra this morning to tell us a little bit more about spirit groups and our most recent accomplishments. There you go.
Thank you, Reverend Doug. Oh, can you hear me? Okay. Well, I want to welcome you again to the celebration today and for the recognition for spirit groups. My name is Phaedra Roberts, and I serve as Unity of Chattanooga's Spirit Groups Program Leader. And the purpose of Spirit Groups is to inspire infinite connections. Our connection to the infinite, our connection to each other, and our connection to the larger community. At the heart of Spirit Groups is 5 spiritual disciplines, regardless of what your book study was or the topic for your group. 5 spiritual disciplines are the heart of the matter. And that is, those 5 are communion, which refers to prayer, connection, compassion, community, and challenge. And the practice of these 5 C's, as we call them, supports the mission of Unity of Chattanooga, which is to create connection and community and be an engaging center for education, prayer, and compassionate support. Just everything Doug just finished talking about. Today, each group will present a little bit about what they learned, what they grew from in their fall series, and they're going to share, and we hope that their sharing will entice you to join us for the winter series. So my group is going to start today. So if those group members will please come on up. I was so honored to host the 6-week curriculum for Divine Audacity by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt. And again, we did that online, and introduce our members. Gloria Hastings, Lynn Chardonnay, Peter Hill, and Sarah Lord. For me, the author of Divine Audacity brought Charles and Cora Fillmore's book, The 12 Powers, to life in a new way. Reverend Linda provided activities, meditations, yoga poses, journal challenges, discussion questions, that all of that together just put skin on the bones was how it came to me. And it helped to boldly flesh out and help us examine our own lives through the lens of each of the 12 powers. Reverend Linda specifically said, or charged each of us that participated, to think of an area of our life. And as we went through the study of the book, think how each of the 12 powers could help us transform that situation. And one of the activities I want to tell you about was in Module 3, and she was talking about zeal and power in that module. And she said that we need to, when we are looking at our lives and ready to transform, that we need to assume spiritual authority and take on a stance of Wonder Woman pose and to hold our heads high. And I think Gloria's our shining example up here today. And so some of us dressed in capes today. Some of us are dressed in one of the colors that's associated with one of the 12 powers. But we're each sharing something about what we got from this experience, and something that we learned, somehow that we grew. And our first speaker is Gloria.
This is my second spirit group adventure with Phaedra as in the leadership role, and I have to say she just keeps getting better and better. And Phaedra shows a great book, Divine Audacity, and I found the title very intriguing. The divine part, I'm all over that. In fact, I remember the moment I was first introduced to the idea of divinity at a Unity church here in Chattanooga, and I heard that God is divine. I'm created in God's image, therefore I'm divine. And I thought, hey, all right, this beats the heck out of the original sin stuff. I'm on board, I like this. And I learned also that I could do the things that Jesus did. I'm like, hey, I'm ready to walk on the water. So I like that whole concept. The audacity, my favorite reference for that was my late grandmother, Mary Ella Turnseed. She used the word frequently as a Southerner to denounce behaviors she considered to be rude or offensive. But there's another definition for audacity, a bold willingness to take risks. So how do we, as divine beings, take bold spiritual risks? Well, to get the big picture, you'll need to read the book, but I can give you a snapshot. Before I began this spirit group, I had been dealing with some health problems, some heart issues. And I wasn't terribly happy about that. And so when I entered the group, I was hopeful. I needed some spiritual structure in my life, but I was a little skeptical as well. And so when I began the group, my emotional state was maybe not as enthusiastic as it needed to be. But as the course continued, the author led us through many exercises, as Phaedra indicated, that helped me to see myself, my situation a little bit differently. Also, I had some vulnerable moments during this group, but the spirit group was always there to support me. Everyone encouraged me in her own way, and I'm really grateful for that. And Phaedra mentioned several of the exercises that she took us through, and how this author sort of reinterpreted the 12 powers. She didn't change the meaning of Fillmore's original words, but it was in a much more relatable way, I'll put it that way. And as we were going through this course, I actually missed a couple of classes because I was either in a test for my heart or I just didn't feel like attending. But Phaedra was great about keeping me updated with all the notes, so I didn't miss out on anything. And toward the end of our session, I was able to share with the group that I finally had a diagnosis. It was a rare heart condition, so I did have a heart problem. And I really struggled with this as I shared with the group, because I'm someone who most of my life has been involved in fitness or some type of physical activity. And I couldn't quite make the connection between the energy I'd expended toward physical activity and having heart disease. Kind of got in my head about it, this isn't fair, what about the laws of the universe, what about cause and effect? But as it turned out, the cardiologist told me, yes, you have a heart condition and you'll need some medical care for that. But I looked at your arteries and you don't have any plaque, not one speck of plaque in your arteries. I was like, all right, Rocky theme. So all those thoughts I had about, how your efforts don't matter and the energy that you expend doesn't really count, or you can't really expect a good outcome, none of that's true. And I'm so grateful I had the opportunity to learn that. And one of the things Phaedra mentioned that I really love about this course is the fact that we can channel our inner superhero. And the superhero stance is a big deal. Superheroes are, I'm gonna use a big word, ubiquitous. They're everywhere, sorry. And superhero pose is utilized in this course, in fitness, psychologists are using it. And so for those of you who would like to join me, I'm gonna ask you to stand. You can do this seated as well. And you wanna have your feet about hip width apart. Get a firm foundation. Hands on your hips. Shoulders back, chest out and proud. Sorry, Mom. And when I feel vulnerable, when I feel weak, when I feel tired, I assume this stance. And I stand in front of the mirror and I say, I am divine. I am divine. I'm a freaking superhero. I'm a freaking superhero. And I encourage you to do this as well. Thank you.
Hi everybody, I'm Lynn Chartier, and I'm very happy to tell you that I just finished my second spirit group. I initially joined a spirit group in the spring because I would just look out and see all of you great people, and I would think, I want to have deeper relationships with all of you, as many of you as I can. And a spirit group has given that to me, both times. So the weekly discussions that we had over the material allowed me to really get a deeper understanding of the people in my groups. And then we share our thoughts, we share our feelings, we share our ideas. And this sharing draws us closer. And we pray together. That certainly draws us closer. So as you know by now, we studied Linda Martella-Whitsett's amazing book. Here's what it looks like. I highly encourage you to get it if you want to know more about your spiritual powers. It's an amazing book. It has so much practical advice on what the powers are, the different facets of each power, how to actually manifest that power in your life, and at the end of each chapter, it has meditations and affirmations that you can use daily whenever you need that power. You just go to this book and you just got it all right there. It's amazing. What a great tool. So I just want to tell you a little bit about my past faith traditions. I was a childhood Baptist. I was a teenage Episcopalian. And then I was a 27-year very devout Catholic. And I value and I'm so grateful for all the spiritual experiences in all those areas that led me gradually to come here. I always knew that I had the Holy Spirit within me. I felt it as early as childhood. And I was aware of those gifts of the Holy Spirit, those fruits of the Holy Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness, self-control, faithfulness. But I never had power. I never felt that I had any powers. And this group, being in this group and studying this book has made me realize that I do have all those powers. And I stuck them on me today. And it's funny how that, just sticking them on me, it makes me feel like I'm embodying those powers even more. It's such a little thing, and yet it means something to me. So I really encourage you, if you have that desire to know your fellow people in this unity community more and more deeply and more meaningfully, try a spirit group. It's really a great experience. I highly recommend it. And I guarantee you that if you put the work into it, if you really participate, if you give your attention to it, if you listen intently to what is happening on the videos, and if there's a book involved, if you really read the book, you're going to get a whole lot out of it.
Hi, I'm Judy Hill. This was my second time with Spirit Group as well. And like others have said, being a part of Spirit Group really increases your connections with one another. and with your community, and it's great for spiritual growth. You know, like I said, last time I've been in Unity many, many years, and I've always been fascinated by the 12 powers. However, studying this Divine Audacity book really brought them to life, and just much more practical applications for me. And it was all about using whichever power it is to make your light, your divine light, shine brighter. One of the ideas in the book was, or at the end actually, was to choose one power and master it. And I thought, wow. And I first thought of order, because I sort of have this need for organization. And, but I had an aha moment when I read, it was a November 2015 reading from Daily Word, and I'm not gonna read it all, but this part, John Lennon, who saw with the eyes of an artist, wrote, "Imagine all the people living life in peace." I share this vision for a nonviolent world. I tap into my spiritual powers of will and imagination, and prayers pour forth from my heart. And so this aha moment was imagination. That's the power I want to master. And I always related that to being artistic, which I don't feel I am, but this gave me a whole new meaning of imagination as holding a vision for that which is not yet. And we do a service project in spirit groups, and we did a virtual Power of 8 group for which we held intentions for an individual person, for our Unity of Chattanooga community, and for the world. And through Power of 8, we have seen amazing results. And it really is meditative imagination. So I'm excited to keep developing this divine power, and I wanted to read just one small part of Linda's meditation for imagination, because I really loved it. I have eyes to see the good within me. I have eyes to see the good around me. I have eyes to see the good path ahead of me. Whatever seems impossible, by my power of imagination, I declare all things are possible. And when you're in a challenging situation in life, answer the question, what if all goes well? Imagine.
What if,
Well, I joined a spirit group for everything that they said. I wanted to get to know more people. I like the word intimate, more intimately as Puppy Pack members, because we have a lot of delightful people wanting to learn about our invisible world together. And we meet on weekends. It's our Puppy Pack, and it's called church. I like dogs. Okay, our group study has included learning about colors and assigning a color to each power that our friend here is wearing. I was an art therapist for years and learned a lot about color and different concepts that they're attached to. And my study was learning about how colors affect the body and the emotions, and what's the connection, what color goes with what, and where is it on the body, etc. And I found that totally fascinating. So to be exposed to something I'm not familiar with and having the colors used in a different context was expanding for me. And that's a good thing for a spirit group to be, is expanding. And as you can see, I am drawn to blue greens, turquoise, aquamarine.
Yellow.
Those are my colors. And yellow, yes. So I get to mix those and have fun. And also learn about a new definition for them and a new way to use them. And as I get older, I need words. I used to be a storyteller. I don't trust that anymore. Yes, in the book, the author assigned light blue to the imagination, as you found out from Judy, dark blue to faith, and yellow to wisdom. So now I get to find out how all those go together. Or how they don't go together. And that's a delightful pursuit for me. And I have found my spirit groups, I've been in 2, to be expanding, enriching, and fun. Join one.
And now we want to hear from the other spirit group, and I want to introduce their spirit group host, Nicole Wellington, and we'll have him come up.
Hello everybody, I'm Nicole Wellington. These are some of my former spirit group women, and we're still like to chat on text and share as well. So this is my second spirit group being in. My last one I was with Phaedra and some of these other women. This is the first time leading one. And so what we're gonna do real quickly is we have a little something for you, but we need to set up just really fast. I have a little display I'm gonna put right here down front. For you to see some things about the book that we read, and then we're just gonna make our way up here and set up for you, okay? So here we go. You guys can come on up. If you hadn't had a lot of fun in your life, this would bring back some fun for you, for sure, once a week. So our spirit group was studying a book called The Designer Life, Distinctions for Living Life by Design and Not by Default. It's by Dr. Kevin Kittrell Ross. And basically the story was talking about how to design a life on purpose, using intentionality, purpose and passion. One of the things he talked about was like backwards design. Someone mentioned imagination. What is the vision that you see, and then backward designing from there. Lots of different points in this book. Reverend Kevin said, when you know your why, you can fly. I love that. And each person has a superpower. I love that they were mentioning the power as well. And he mentioned that a lot in this book as well. One of the ways to begin to find that is to choose, we all chose one word that would describe ourselves, and then we picked someone, and you might get a hint of that seeing the way that we're dressed. We picked someone that had the qualities that we wanted to express with that word. But first, before we start our narrative real quickly, we're gonna introduce Lynn. She's gonna be our person that talks about the word wander, and on the journey of wander, W-O-N-D-E-R, and how she wonders why and how she finds herself in particular situations and places in life, and then she's just going to kind of tap us on the shoulder, and we'll be able to tell our word and our person and how that relates to what we learned in this spirit group. Okay, Lynn, you ready?
So this was our book. I'm Lynn. I wanted to take this class because it said designer life, but I also really felt like my life was running me and I was not running my life, and things were really out of control for, several years now. And so I thought this would be a good chance, and also I wanted to get to know, have more intimate connections, I guess, with everybody here. Oh, hello? I'm so loud. So anyway, that's why I joined, because I just wanted something, maybe I could be a little more organized and just a little more in control for what we're in control of. And so when it came time to choose our word to describe ourselves, my word was wonder, because I just am in a state of wonder, as in, I wonder how I ended up here. I wonder why I'm going through the things I'm going through. I wonder why Joe has to struggle like he does. And I wonder why this is happening. I wonder what my purpose is. I don't even know. And so that was my word, and I am so perplexed. I didn't even have a person at the beginning of the class. I couldn't even get it together enough to think of somebody that I wanted. So that was my word, was wonder. And then I really was interested. One of the things I really liked about this group, I love listening to, as much as I love to talk, I really love learning from other people and hearing what they have to say. And that helped me a lot. That was huge. It was just really nice to have a small group and get to hear what people had to say. So I wonder what other people's words were. And we're gonna find out from Wonder Woman.
All right. It's me again. In a classic case of double dipping, I decided to be in both groups. I love Nicole, I love Phaedra, I just couldn't choose, and also I needed that spiritual structure in my life. Yeah. This is a great group. I love this group. And I love this book. This is an author who challenged us to do an inventory, a personal inventory. And as Lynn mentioned, we were asked to choose a word to describe ourselves. I chose the word strength. And as Sarah pointed out earlier, each unity power is associated with a color. Green is the color for strength. And you'll probably never guess which superhero I chose. And in my frame of reference, Wonder Woman is Linda Carter in the 1970s TV show. Yes. I can barely remember it, I was so young. Sorry. My nose is growing, sorry about that. But she was one of the few women on TV at the time who was rescuing innocent people, beating down the bad guys, and saving the world in general. So, I mean, she was my role model. I love that. Maybe in some way I wanted to be Wonder Woman. But taking this class, as I mentioned earlier, had some health issues, and so when the author starts talking about, your purpose, and he asks some really, really good questions, things like, who are you really, and what is your purpose? And I kind of stumbled with that. And 30 years ago, I could easily have answered that. But with all the changes in my life, I just wasn't really sure. But I'm grateful that this author asked us to go on this personal inventory, because I realized that at some point, I let the illness and some of those outer circumstances overwhelm me. And I was able to remember through this course who I was back then, when I felt like Wonder Woman, when I was a young person out of college and I wanted to save the world, single-handedly. And I'd kind of lost sight of that. And I think along the way, I sort of let go of some of my other hopes and dreams. Things that were really important to me. I just said, well, that's not gonna happen. But in this course, I realized that yes, I can still do things. Okay, so I have some health issues. My life isn't over. I can have a second act. I can reinvent myself. And so that's sort of what I'm in the process of doing as a result of this group, and as a result of asking the hard questions. And also the other participants had some really interesting information, things that helped me, and whether they're aware of it, I don't know, but each of them reached out to me in some way, maybe during the group session, maybe during a text, an email, a personal encounter. ways that really helped me get back in touch with my superhero person. So I'm grateful for all of that. And I just want to remind you again about that superhero pose. It really works.
So the word I chose was connection, but the person I chose was something from my childhood too, watching TV with my siblings at home on Saturday morning or whenever, is the show Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And I don't remember all the episodes, I just remember the beautiful neighborhood, and I have a picture of that right here, and the way he talked to children. And if we would think about it today, it's kind of like the child psychologist person on TV, if you think about it. And now that I work with children, I've been an educator for many, many years, I can see that connection. So I picked him because of his acceptance of everyone, whether it was the neighbor up the street, the mailman, no matter who it was, he was accepting of everyone. And also his kindness. And one of the reasons why I picked up this book, I was thinking almost like Gloria was like, okay, I've been an educator for many years. What is next? What is the next thing for me? Is it just me teaching high school students and them sitting there and not really want to be there? And I found out that, you know, with this acceptance and kindness, I wanted to drill down on that. This is post-COVID for all of us, and especially for young people. I just wanted to show more and more of that acceptance and kindness, and maybe just project the energy of what the next thing is for me. It also mentions that in the book, you know, showing up what the next thing is for you, whether it's the way you dress or some type of other activity you're doing. And then I saw my students noticing that. They would say, Miss, where are you going after school? I'm like, you know, home to take a nap, you know. but they're seeing like, okay, is she doing something? Is something else happening? So I really love this book, and I'm actually going to read it again. And you're right, it does have some questions to answer, some prompts and things like that. But so that was my person, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, on trying to make just a better life for all of us here, acceptance and kindness.
Hi everybody, my name's Mary Tolenshaw, and I had the privilege and honor of being a part of this lovely spirit group. I know that it was a divine call. I have moved here in April, and I don't know many people, and moved to Harrison, and I thought, I need to meet kindred souls. I need to meet people who I can get to know, and not just know on video screen, because I don't know about y'all, but I have found the past couple of years to be really draining when you can only interface with people two-dimensionally and not three-dimensionally. And so I took the leap, and it was really neat because I went online and happened to see the spirit groups, reached out to Nicole completely out of the blue, and so much felt the warmth and the grace and the love of the folks in this group. My central word that motivates my life, that was really easy for me to think about, was beauty. Even as a little girl, I can remember sitting for hours drawing pictures of flowers or rainbows or fairies or all kinds of things in nature. And you know, when we were going around in our spirit group and talking about a hero, it just came right from my lips right away, and I don't know why, but it became clearer why as I did a little bit of research. So mine's St. Teresa of Calcutta, and don't know if you guys know, but she wasn't from India. She was actually from Macedonia, north of Greece, and felt a nudge, a divine call, and was really bold in her early 20s to just travel to one of the most impoverished areas of the world. And in the squalor of poverty, she saw beauty in each and every human being, in each soul. She was able to look through what others would see as depressing, as something really beautiful. And she believed that with that love of beauty and seeing the beauty in each person, that community could be created if that love was genuine. And she was the subject of a book in 1972 by Malcolm Muggeridge entitled Something Beautiful for God. And that was her whole purpose in life, is all she wanted to do was to create things that were beautiful for God. And it makes me cry, because that's what I want to do too. And even though my call isn't to missionary work abroad, I'm a wife and mom of 4 adult children and a multi-poo puppy, I feel very kindred to St. Teresa. I use my talents to try to create as much beauty, whether it's in writing or inspirational meditations or taking photographs of flowers or the awe I find in nature and sharing it broadly on a Facebook page with a ton of people that are shut in and can't get out and experience the beauty of it. And my whole purpose in doing that is for them to have more of an awareness of the divine's presence all around us. I liked what was shared about seeing with our eyes and then seeing, with our eyes outward, just seeing God's beauty everywhere. St. Teresa shared that a life not lived for others is not a life at all. And similarly, I've read Reverend Kevin Ross's book 3 times now, and the last time I read it the other night, I was really struck in chapter 5 when he shared that service is a state of being, the byproduct of having a healthy spirituality. And I noticed Doug spoke so much about service this morning and being thankful for the service of our veterans, being thankful for the service of visionaries who saw that civil rights and women's suffrage and all different various items are so important. And we still have so many of those issues, be it child trafficking or, folks with mental illness and getting no help or whatever the issues are. And I think of the now deceased Dr. Wayne Dyer, who I love so much, and he shared, just imagine if every morning we woke up and said, how may I serve today? What would open up for us and others if we committed to making things happen around this very intention? How may I serve? The study with this wonderful group made me think deeply on my vocation to serve and to celebrate it and to commit to it more deeply. And I just loved everyone I met, and I'm thankful for meeting you all this morning. Thank you.
Okay, hi there. I am Aquaman, obviously. I didn't piss off any, or I didn't make enemies with the mob or anything. I'm not swimming with the fishes. But my real costume is at the dry cleaners on the boat, so Aquaman, so I had to make do with this. It's still clearly Aquaman, right? Thing I liked about Aquaman, don't laugh. Oh, the best part is my superhero shoes. Yeah. But I like this book. This is the 4th spirit group I've been with, and this one was fun because it challenged in the very beginning to set a purpose statement, and I, for one, kind of struggled with that because I hadn't thought about that before. And like chapter 2, okay, you got to get through the rest of this book, And so one of the exercises, like people says, choose a word. Well, you go through your talents and what you like to do, and you kind of put it together with your idealism. And I realized empower. I like to empower people. I like to give people the tools that they can take home with them and use, on a day-to-day basis, 7 days a week. Spirituality and living spiritually is a 7-day-a-week thing. It's not a 1-day-a-week thing. And so I was like, okay, well then choose a superhero who empowered others. And most superheroes are knocking other bad guys down. And I was like, I remembered as a kid, I thought Aquaman was so cool because he could like telepathically communicate with, the whales and the fishes and some, I remember one episode that was cool that, an event had happened, a tsunami was coming towards the coast. I think the bad guys had created a tsunami. So he got the whales to knock down a mountain underneath, and it created a reverse tsunami so that it met in the middle of the ocean and neutralized. And I was just like, wow, that's cool, as a kid. And I didn't, so the empowerment and that sharing, I think, and that defining your life, like people have said, like waking up in the morning and going, what can I do for my purpose today? And one of the discoveries I made in this class was, all right, what do I want to be? What do I want to be? Who do you want to be? And when you ask a 30-year-old that, you get a 30-year-old answer. So, but I'm not 30. So I said, I want to empower people, but I want to do that through philanthropy. So I want to be a philanthropist. So I need to figure out a way to be rich so that I can be a philanthropist. But I figure, one goes in the other. Once I know I'm on their path, right, it's just like, okay, I'm going to be a philanthropist, and the rest will come, And part of that philanthropy, for me anyway, is a little bit earlier what I was talking about, where every day when we live gratefully, right, and we embrace our community and we do try to help other people, even if it's just by listening instead of talking, that is a form of philanthropy. The money will come after. So anyway, let's define
it. And so there it was. I think it was the second week when we're on Zoom, and Nicole said, pick a word that defines you. Now, she may have said that the week before, I don't remember, but I was going to be up in just a few minutes, and I think, gee, what is that word? And it didn't take me too long.
That's funny.
Yeah, there's an advantage being bald. And so I was thinking about what is that word that just empowers me, that is what I'm all about. And so from the ancient scriptures comes connected. And that's what I felt. And of course the next question was your superhero. And as most of you know, from my earliest days in Sunday school, I was, when I first heard about Jesus and the things he could do, not just water to wine and reduce the bar bill, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about his connection to spirit, the person who he was, and then simply the joy and guidance that he could give for so many people, which has survived today. So this is my costume. I can tell you that this is the robe that I graduated from ministerial school with. And it has sat in my closet for 20 some odd years, and this is the second time I wore it. And I want to thank RJ. Where's RJ? There he is, for the staff. And for Penny for putting the scroll together. She did that last night. And I think this is my second spirit group. And the thing that I am most thankful for is the opportunity to be with people during the week and to listen to their stories. The one thing that I got out of it more than anything else was the inspiration that people got who participated in these groups. So, thank you.
Well, it won't surprise you that the word that I chose comes from Abraham Hicks, and it's an uplifter. And an uplifter is someone who can change an energetic vibration with positive thoughts and positive words. And now you look at my costume, and you see my mouse ears, and you might think that I love to honor Walt Disney, because he was an incredible uplifter. Think of how many people's focus changed the minute they stepped onto the property of Disneyland or Disney World. All of a sudden, they were in a whole different world of fun and imagination and magic. But my ears actually represent something else. And my vest is supposed to be my red cape. Because when I was a little girl, my mom allowed us an hour to watch cartoons on Saturday morning before we had to go outside and play. And so I always got to watch
Mighty Mouse. And you might wonder what Mighty Mouse and Uplifter have to do with one another. But what I saw on Saturday mornings, that regardless of what the problem was or what people were struggling with, when Mighty Mouse showed up to save the day, he always made it better. And I love to do that too. I love to make anything better for somebody else. And one of the things that I got out of the book, by the way, which was written by a minister at Unity of Sacramento. I didn't realize he was a Unity minister. But he asks in the book, where are you holding yourself back on your journey? And sometimes, we get so serious and so caught up in, because things aren't turning out the way we thought they would or the way they're supposed to be. And it actually, we allow that to bring our energies down. So I automatically thought about Lynn and her word wonder, and wondering why things just weren't the way that she thought her life would be at this point. And I thought, well, how can we look at that different? And for me, wonder is a feeling of awe and excitement, instead of wondering what went wrong. So I suggested to her that she change her last name, Seeger, to Seeker, and look at wonder from different eyes.
Let me just say a little story about Penny. So I've been going to Unity on and off for, oh, I'm so loud. So I've been going to Unity for many years on and off. And one, I would filter in, filter out, mostly because I like to play in the woods all weekend long. So I didn't attend very often. But even one time I went with Joe. We used to ride our bikes from the house down to Main Street. And we would go. And one time I left a purple mug there. And now Penny knew me, but she didn't really know me. And anyway, I emailed and said I left my purple travel mug. And do you know, 2 weeks later I went back and she brought it up to me. That's just how wonderful she truly cares about people and is. And it seems like a small gesture, but it's something I always remembered. So I just want to say that. So anyway, I'm supposed to do the conclusion, and I just want to say that it was really good. When I started this, I didn't really know, I wasn't able to define my purpose. I knew my passion, which sounds so corny, but I love people. I love to make people feel good, and I just want to help people. And it does sound kind of corny, but that's really my passion. So I'm not going to be ashamed of it anymore. But I didn't know what my purpose was. But after Penny and I had that little talk out in the driveway one day, I realized my purpose really is to choose to look for all the wonderful things in life, to look for the miracles. We're all miracles, really. And to look at all the positive things, to choose instead of being sad and thinking this isn't the way I want. But even Oprah said this, if you always focus on what you wanted and you don't have, instead of appreciating what you have and where you are, you will never be happy. And so to change it into a Lynn, wonder, seeker. Oh, I did this. Lynn, wonder, seeker. So if you change it to that, you can really truly have a whole new outlook on life. And even if things aren't going your way, you still have time to see the beauty, the love, and instead of saying, I'm so frustrated about what happened, I say, I'm so thankful that I know Joe. I'm so thankful we got to do so many wonderful things together. And so anyway, now I'm wearing my little backpack just to kind of represent my journey of trekking and my journey of going through life as my new trail name, which I know John knows what that is to be Wonder Seeker. So thank you all.
I tell you what, you guys always tell me how much you enjoy what I do, but you guys are such communicators. All of you can just stand up and speak, and that is something that's so wonderful. So wonderful. Amen. Thank all of y'all for that. All right, gotcha.
I noticed that too, so someday when I need a break, I know who to call. Well, this is the time in our service when we choose to give back. And hopefully you have just been filled and overflowed this morning with stories and just heart-welling examples of the transformations that can occur within the context of this community. So if you will, join me with our offering statement together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I receive in abundance. And so we give thanks once again for these tithes and these offerings so freely given from hearts filled and overflowing with abundance. And we know that these tithes, these offerings, these gifts go forward to not only bless this ministry, but to bless each and every one of you. And through you, bless your families, your friends, the organizations you work with, this community, and the world. Thank you, God. So it is. Eric, do you have a few brief announcements?
I do. Isn't Landis going to do his song? Oh, okay. Yes, I do. Okay.
Very brief
Very
announcements.
brief, I know, yeah, we're running, okay. Yes. And maybe I will stand right here. Okay. Thank you, Reverend Doug, Jesus, Landis, for all you do to be the spiritual home for us here, and, you know, it really blesses everyone who comes here, and so it's much appreciated. Quickly, because we are having a marathon service here today, starting this week on Tuesday, November 14th, we're going to be holding our very first in-person discussion group here at the Unitarian Sanctuary. As I think most of you know, part of our lease agreement with them is we got 2 Tuesdays and one Wednesday every month. So this is going to be our first meeting. We're going to meet here in the classroom downstairs at 6:30 on Tuesday. The first event is going to be a metaphysical discussion group. When we did that survey a couple of weeks ago that a lot of you participated in, discussion group was the number one thing that everybody chose. Number 2 was like a live presentation seminar. So the first one we're going to do is a discussion group on metaphysics. It's going to be led by our very own Amanda Adamson. It's going to be a practical metaphysical discussion group where we're going to explore new thought questions. The first class is going to focus on what is truth, and that's truth with a capital T. And just as a reminder, I hope you all know this, we are not here to tell you what to believe, but we hope that these kind of discussions will help each individual express and maybe even clarify their own beliefs and how they think about things in a safe space without judgment or unwanted advice. So circle your calendars. On our second Tuesday available, on the November 24th, we're going to have a Qigong class that's going to be led by our very own Keith Moyes. And so that's also going to be at 6:30. So we have 6:30, November 14th for a discussion group on metaphysics, And 6:30 on November 28th, also a Tuesday, here downstairs in the classroom, a Qigong class. So exciting. And in that, there's an important announcement to be made about those events and our subsequent church service events. The toilet in the men's bathroom isn't working. But the urinal is on the upstairs men's bathroom. So for anybody that so needs, there is another bathroom downstairs. So I just wanted to make that clear to everybody if they were concerned when they walked into the bathroom. Because now that we're having all these meetings here, people gotta come, but people still have to go, if you know what I mean. So, thank you very much. I'll be here all week. We're taking sign-ups for people who are interested in attending classes to become a member here at Unity of Chattanooga. You can sign up for a class even if you just want to learn a little bit about the Unity movement and the history. The sign-up sheet is on the back center table. And speaking of community today, one of our congregants is seeking your assistance. Jens Baker, saw you back there, there you are, is looking for a new affordable place to live. So he's looking for like a 1-bedroom, preferably in a house or maybe a garage apartment. If you know of any places or have a place in mind, please see him after service today. And in the spirit of the word unity, and in the spirit of our core commitment to unity, we are joining with the Unitarians here, these people, in their food drive, in their Christmas food drive, so holiday spirit food drive. So you can bring in your non-perishable food items starting next week and put these items in the boxes by the front door. There's going to be boxes in the front door. The most needed items are peanut butter, canned fruits and vegetables, soups, and canned meats. So, and then also, in the spirit of unity and all things connected, on Thanksgiving Day, the Unitarians here are going to be hosting a Thanksgiving dinner. And they've invited all of us, any of us that want to come and join. And I know a couple of people have gone and checked out their services on Sundays, and we're slowly starting to integrate. They're going to put our Qigong class in their newsletter, and they're going to put the metaphysical discussion group in their newsletter, and so we're going to hopefully start seeing more and more cross pollination. Are you allowed to say that in church? Connectedness. And then coming on the last Saturday in November, November 25th, which is Thanksgiving weekend, we're going to be welcoming back speakers and musicians Angelina and Armand, which they performed for us last year. They're a great husband-wife duo. And they're also going to be offering an afternoon fun shop, which is really about learning to play the Native American flute. So it's going to be a class on playing the flute. There's a sign-up sheet in the round table in the fellowship area. And I think, what are they asking for that? $20, like a $20 love donation, I believe. Penny, I believe. I think that's what
wherever Penny is, she would know.
I printed out the flyers for. I'm pretty sure it said $20. Yeah, $20 love offering for the flute. And they're fabulous. If you haven't seen Armand and Angelina, they're really high energy. They're fantastic. So circle November 25th on your weekend. So as we bring today's service to a close, please stand and join in singing our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, in oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace. peace on earth, and let it begin with
And together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And as you go forward this week, just remember, it's all about relationships and being connected. Godspeed.
Godspeed.